Hello and welcome to PS Such a Connection. I'm P.
And I'm S, and we're here talking about this week's episodes of Bachelor in Paradise. So, here is my Bachelor in Paradise, and then Wells. And there's the connection count up there in the corner.
So Wells came.
And the first thing that happens is literally everyone's like, take Ashley I. You know who you should take? Ashley I.
Have you met Ashley? No? You would love her.
You would love her.
She's great.
She's so available right now.
He did.
He did, and their reaction was priceless. It was a highlight of my night. I was like, and also for me, it just showed a little bit of like camaraderie, like because obviously not everyone gets along in Bachelor in Paradise, but everyone was really happy for Ashley to go on.
Yeah, really happy for Ashley
and for themselves and Jared and Kayla and themselves for not having to deal with her anymore. Yeah. But I think it was a really sweet moment.
It was nice. They had tacos.
They fed one to a dog.
Oh my god.
Oh. It was cute. They talked about music.
If there were a dog on any of the dates, I mean, first of all, it probably wouldn't go that well because, like, I would not pay attention to the guy on the date.
Yeah. Just the dog.
But I would also, like, associate the dog with that guy, so I would be madly in love with him. First date, 300th date, doesn't matter.
Sense. And it went pretty well, I thought. I thought they had, like,
it went really well.
A good little banter going on. They talked about music and, like, I won't get into my thoughts on music elitism and their judging of her for liking Hanson, but
I will. Fuck you. She can like what she wants to like.
Yeah, that's basically what I mean. And yeah, they, like, Wells didn't seem like, oh my god, I'm in love with her right now. But, like, he liked her.
Yeah, they had a good time together, and they had, like, chemistry, I guess. Yeah. Like, they had a good back and forth. And I think you said that, but...
she was less cray-cray with him. She was, like, a normal human. Like, and then even later on tonight's episode, it's like, with him, she's kind of more of a normal human being.
Yeah.
And we like that.
It's not infatuation. It's, like...
Yeah. Something genuine.
Yeah.
And we had a guest watch with us tonight, our friend Rachel, who we love. We love her. She hated Ashley. She didn't have our prior knowledge.
Yeah, she didn't have the backstory of Ashley, and she didn't have, like... I think she was too serious about it, too.
Yeah, and she was
like, she wasn't like, oh, this is all in good fun. She was like this...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, you have to have a knowledge, like, you can't, like, people on TV are people on TV. They have flaws and imperfections, and you don't know what you would do in that situation on TV. Like, how many people would sit on their couches eating a burger and say, that girl's the worst? Yeah. I hope she watches this.
We love you, Rachel.
You just have to trust our judgment. So another person Rachel hated was Lace, who we also love. And Lace, like, momentarily ruins her relationship with Grant. It was a quick thing. She, like, flirts with Brett, and then Grant's like, that wasn't cool. And Lace is like, I don't know why you made me. And then Grant was like, don't be like that. And Lace was like,
and then she was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Well, Grant apologized first, which I didn't like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I missed that.
Grant goes to her and apologizes first, which I don't think is okay, like, because it was Lace's fault.
Yeah.
The whole thing started from Lace being a little bit insensitive, and she should have apologized first. But she did, after Grant came to her, acknowledge that she did do something wrong, and she did apologize. So I think it was good because, yeah, it was good. I think that Lace needs to work a little bit on realizing her own part in a problem.
Yeah, I mean, but she may even realize it, but just be like, I don't want to deal with it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
she needs the other person to come. And, like, you know, she just shuts down, so she doesn't even care that she had a part in it. She's just over it. So she needs that other person to come in and be like, I'm sorry first, which is, like, kind of a character flaw that she should try to overcome.
Yeah, I think she should try to overcome it, but it's good that I think Grant realizes that as a personality part of her and can work on it with her.
Yeah, and is still willing to, like, because he could have just been like, I mean, another girl's gonna show up in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. But he didn't, so that was good. And yeah, they kind of made up, which was good. Now, Pam, do you remember what happens next? Do you have it written? You don't?
I don't. I lost it.
I'm sorry. The reason I wanted to say it is because it's the worst thing, and it makes both of us so angry.
Oh my Jesus.
And this is when Amanda goes to Nick and Jen, and she's like, oh, hey guys, she's being super sweet Amanda, and she's like, you guys can have that bed tonight. I'm going to sleep.
Oh yeah. No, sorry. I thought you meant something else.
Oh, okay. And, Nick and Jen go to the bed, and Josh.
They're like, they're like on their way to the bed, and he's like, no, that's mine.
Me and Amanda
are gonna be there tonight.
And Nick and Jen should have been like, and like, I get it. Non-confrontational is the best route with Josh because it could escalate real quick. It escalates without them doing anything.
Yeah.
So like, so they are just like, whatever, fine. Josh gets all up in a huff about Amanda having gone to sleep. Like, she's just sleeping.
Yeah.
In her bed.
She was tired. And it's not like, right, they were trying to go to the room with a king-size mattress, right, is the deal?
Yeah,
where they could, like...
Yeah.
She was sleeping on, like, a queen-size bed.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't understand, like, if he wanted to have sex with her.
Yeah.
He didn't want to sleep with her. He wanted to have sex with her.
Yeah. So, like, really just an ultimate jerk move. Like, he wakes her up, is passive-aggressive and angry to her.
And, like, when you get woken up, like, she's like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what's going on. And then the worst, like, so irredeemable to me. I don't think that's a word.
I get it.
When he pats her and he's like, good talk.
Yeah, like
she's asleep. You just woke her up. She went to sleep. Who freaking cares if she didn't tell you she was going to sleep? She was tired and she went to sleep. Just because you aren't attached at the mouth anymore, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
You were probably eating a pizza and that's why she didn't tell you.
I can't even with Josh. He needs...
I'm so over it. I don't want them to show them getting engaged because I'm over it. Like, I love Amanda. I want her to be happy. If she's happy with him, that's fine. But I can't stand Josh, and I don't want to watch him get into a relationship with another woman who he may or may not, because it's not verified abuse.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't want... I can't believe Amanda doesn't... Like, I get that... I don't know why she likes him, but she does. And it just... I can't stand that she's so blinded. She's so blinded, and we all see it. And it's easy to say that watching a TV show and seeing it in front of you and being fed something, because we're being fed it. But Josh, I mean, he's like this. He's been on the Bachelorette and whatever. Everything that has been said about Josh has been said about him, and I hate him, even though I don't know him as a person, and that's it. Evan and Carly have a little thing happening.
Yeah.
Evan was like, I'm falling for you.
I think you said it exactly like that.
And Carly was like, and me and Pam were like, too soon. And then Carly was like, I'm yelling at you too. So I guess it wasn't.
It's so gross.
It's pretty gross. Like, I'm happy for Carly, and like, I like don't have anything against Evan.
No,
He's
yeah,
just,
like he should find love.
And Carly should find love, and if they find it together, that's awesome. I just don't want to look at it. I want to look at Nick, and I want to look at
Jared and
Kayla, because they're like fairy princes, and like they're not together anymore. Never.
God, like, I think my heart died. I don't believe in love anymore.
I'm sorry, Pam. Jared and Kayla, you did this.
Good job, guys.
And Wells. Rachel didn't find Wells attractive, and I was like personally offended. Like, well, fine, he's mine anyway.
Don't come for Wells, Rachel.
Oh my god. I love Wells.
I love Wells too.
Everyone else
you
also loves Wells.
It's a different scenario with you.
It's like you and Grant and you and Luke.
Yeah. I don't think it's quite like me and Grant. I just love Grant, and you guys are like, oh, whatever.
Oh. Yeah.
But like, you love Wells.
Yeah, I do. At the rose ceremony.
Like, I can't even talk about who chose who, because it's like the same. Yeah. I just want to get to, like, the saddest moment in Bachelor history.
When the twins.
I can't. Like, good for them for realizing that it wasn't the place for them, and they were just, I guess, wasting their time. But, I mean, wasting your time in paradise is worth it, right?
Just the way they were crying. Like, they were so emotional. And, like, it's so, like, the twins should never cry.
No.
They should never cry.
And if they do cry, like, a little cherub baby should come down to dab their tears away.
Like, just kiss their tears away.
Yeah. And then they become happy again.
Yeah. That's what it should be like for them.
They're so
weird. But alas, they were sad. And, like the perfect humans that they are, they were like, before we go, we have a job to do.
Yeah, and I feel like they were actually a little bit disillusioned by everything with Amanda and Josh. And that's one of the reasons they chose to leave. Because it was after that conversation with Nick. Like, maybe they were thinking about it before that, but it was, like, the way they cut it, it was after that conversation with Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we just don't feel like it's right to be here anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see... even if you don't know exactly if it's an abusive relationship or if it will turn into an abusive relationship, if you're around that and there's an inkling of that, like, it can affect you and your relationship too.
Yeah.
Like, should I trust this person?
Yeah.
Do I know this person well enough?
Yeah.
And that's like, they were dating those two guys.
Yeah.
But they just didn't want to take it any further.
Mm-hmm. So they warn Amanda about Josh.
Yes.
And Amanda gets really upset. And
doesn't want to talk to Josh about it. She just wants to think about it by herself. Yeah. And he's like, okay, so tell me. And she's like, no, I don't.
Ignores her feelings. Ignores
what she says.
Just pure manipulation and, like, disregard to her as a human being.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I couldn't. I'm angry about it. And Amanda should see the signs, but she doesn't. And then the whole Jared, Kayla, Ashley thing.
Yeah, well, so that happens that night, and then no one wakes up the next morning. Everyone's sleeping except for Wells, who is walking out on the beach. Like, where is everyone? And then, what's her name?
Jamie.
Jamie comes in and is like, hey, look, a human. I'll ask him.
Well, yeah. Let's go on a date. And Wells says yes. And they have, like, an amazing time.
Yeah. And I kind of missed this a little bit, but right, he said he wanted to go talk to Ashley, but she was sleeping.
Yeah.
And they didn't have enough time, so they ended up leaving.
Yeah. And then so everybody wakes up and Nick, and everyone finds out what happened. And Nick tells Ashley that he went on the date. And she takes it in stride. And she's like, and everyone's like waiting for the tears.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh. All right.
I mean, she was like, oh, okay, and then immediately went to, like, Jared and Kayla, I guess, and was like, I just don't want to see you with Jared.
Yeah. That's what happened.
But, you know, without anything else to do,
yeah,
what was she gonna do? I think if Wells had still been there,
she would have been talking to him.
Yeah, she wouldn't have even said anything to Kayla. I mean, maybe it would have come up later, but it wouldn't have even been that much of a thing.
So, but it is a thing. And Kayla gets super uncomfortable. And she's like, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Yeah. I mean, I can understand where Ashley's coming from. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not like there's not that much space in this place. You cannot make out with someone.
Yeah. No,
in
absolutely.
front of someone else. Like, I don't understand what the big deal with that is. Like, keeping your lips apart from someone.
I don't think it was that, really. It was just her, because she was constantly bad-mouthing Kayla to Jared. That was my major
But
thing.
Kayla didn't see any of that. So I still think her uncomfortableness came mostly from that talk with Ashley being like, I just don't want to see you with him. And, like, I mean, maybe she said more like, I don't want to see you with him at all, which is a little bit more, like, I mean, we're here, we're all in the same place, what are we supposed to do? Just, like, pretend that we aren't together when we're around you?
Yeah.
But kissing, I think, is fine. Like, saying, like, please no.
Yeah, no, but I do think, and I agree, but I do think Ashley was being more antagonistic than that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, of course, that I don't know where Ashley's coming from, because, like, she was jealous. That's fine. We love Ashley, and we understand the decision she makes, and she's cray-cray, and she needs, like, a Nick all the time to be like, Ashley, no.
Yeah.
Ashley, wait.
But she would still do it, even if she had it all the time.
So, Kayla is like, Jared, I can't do it anymore. And she leaves. And Jared went to talk to Ashley.
Yeah. Jared just said that he needed to kind of, like, let Ashley know that he was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I can't stand up for Ashley I because she completely tried to sabotage.
She said she didn't like you. No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
It's so...
No, she never said
like,
that.
it's so hard to stand up for someone who does that. Like, even with jealousy.
Yeah.
It's hard. And, like, too, she's saying, like, there are things you didn't see. Like, even so, like, let him find that out for himself.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that, like, it's not like an abusive relationship because I feel like we sound like hypocrites if we say, like, don't let Amanda find it out for herself, but let Jared find it out for herself. But it's not like an abusive relationship where, like, you could get trapped in this thing. It's just, like, a thing, like, maybe she's not that into you and maybe you'll get your heart broken.
Yeah, no.
But let him kind of, like, explore that.
And not for nothing, let Kayla explore that.
Yeah.
Like, so what if Kayla is at that point less into Jared?
Mm-hmm.
That could change.
Yeah.
They've known each other for 2 weeks. Like,
yeah.
It's totally different with Josh, who visibly shows aggression and anger. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Because with Kayla, we're not worried about Jared's safety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jared leaves with Kayla.
Yeah, and it was really romantic. He, like, chases after the van.
Yeah.
Although people on Twitter were like, wow, unenthused much. But I still thought it was romantic.
It's, like, super hot. I wouldn't want to run either. Then you're going to be sweaty when she opens the door. Like, ew.
No one wants that.
And then Lauren H. arrives.
Yes. And Lauren and Shoshana, who they call Shu.
Yes.
And, like, Lauren takes Brett. Shoshana asks Wells. And everyone's like,
again.
Wells. Wells. Which, so how did you feel about, like, Brett and Lauren?
I mean, honestly, they showed, like, 10 minutes of them, right? Yeah. Doing the surfing, which was cool. Like, that looked fun, but, I mean, it wasn't as romantic as his end, like, with Wells and Shoshana.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as romantic as with Wells and Jamie.
Sorry.
It wasn't as romantic as that date. And it wasn't, like, he didn't, I guess because it was a double date, it wasn't as intimate as the one with Ashley, so they didn't, like, seem to have this, like, back and forth that he and Ashley had. So I was like, alright, when's this gonna be over? And I guess they were like, I don't know if they're still together or not. They never really, like, followed up on that.
Yeah.
And then Lauren H. and Brett, like, I don't know. Because I don't know anything about Lauren and Brett, so I went with the thing that I know.
So do you have any inkling of who Wells will choose, do you think?
At this point, I don't really know, because they didn't show him enough with any of the girls, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I still have kind of a feeling it's gonna be Ashley.
Yeah. I think it could be, I think there's a strong possibility it's Ashley. But it could be Jamie, but it could be Shoshana. Like, yeah. I don't know. I want it to be Ashley or Jamie, because I like them the most. So, we found out, we talked a little bit about it, that Kayla and Jared are no longer together. And it's the worst thing that ever happened. And for a second there, I was really, really hoping Jared was going to be announced as the next Bachelor.
That would have been awesome.
I would have been significantly more excited, because...
And it's so interesting to me that they announced that Nick was going to be the Bachelor while he's still on the show, about to be engaged.
Yeah, like...
And then he still couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, like...
Dumb.
Like, oh no, it all works out great, but...
Like, I can't really talk about it, but, you know, things happen. Like, no... like, why are we even here? Like, you could do this next week.
Yeah, like... Yeah. I think it would have been a more...
Maybe that's why I felt, like, so lackluster about it, because I was like, oh, great, like, yeah, I care. I'm excited for him to be the Bachelor, and I do care, but it's just the way they went about presenting it that I was weird. I have to watch next week, too, and, like, maybe I won't, because I know that, like, Amanda and Josh are gonna get married. We're gonna have to, aren't we? Yeah. But I know that Amanda and Josh are gonna get engaged, and that Nick and Jen clearly aren't, or if they do, they aren't gonna last. Like, I can't care.
Yeah.
They took away my care. And that's a problem. Like, I should be going in like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? I'm sorry, I've been listening to podcasts with people who have weird accents, so I keep, like, going in and out.
I didn't even notice. And also, do you remember when you were like, I always move? I feel like that's me today. I'm, like, everywhere today. But, yeah, I don't, like, I'm excited Nick is the Bachelor. I agree, they should have announced it a different way. And that's all I have to say. 10 connections... in the 2 episodes. Connection count was 10. Yep. Maybe more, because I feel like I missed some today.
Yeah, probably, because Rachel was here, so we weren't paying as close of attention as we usually do.
Yeah. But, yeah, so next week, the final episodes, like, snuck up on us. We were like...
Yeah, we had no idea.
Next week is the last one. It's weird because there's no certain, like, oh, there's only one more rose.
Yeah.
Then you know how many.
Yeah, you can count.
You can count. But,
if you can't count, then maybe you're surprised.
Yeah. But so it snuck up on us. Tune in, live tweeting at Such a Connection next week, and then for our review afterwards. Bye.